She had no comment when asked the question that's on the minds of all the community members who desperately search for her. Why?
Sherry Papini's husband, who stood by her side for years, filing for divorce after the mother of two admitted to faking her 2016 kidnapping.
Well, can police here say they believe Stein, in her mind, thought she had no other choice?
But in an unexpected twist, police say this actually didn't happen and that Sorensen's story was fabricated.
I can't really see that. Okay. All right. I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to stay, keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay? That's it. Thank you.
Why you being extra, man? This ain't in that type of video.
Being extra? Boy, this might be the perfect video. Innocent Until. Good morning. What's going on? That's just me, man. I have to do a little slow intro because once I get going, man, I start all over the place. You know what I mean? That little stumbling and stuff I do. It's raining in Miami, Florida. I hope it is beautiful where you're at. I don't complain when I say it's raining because we need it. You know what I mean? The sun is just going to come out and it's going to be 10 times hotter, but I'm not complaining about that either, man. We back with Carly, guys. I'm not recording this video 3 and 4 times. I've already recorded it once. People say, no, be you, speak your mind, man. That is the last thing most people want. Like, people do not want you to be you. That is a huge problem with our world. People want you to conform to who they are. I tell you guys, man, I've been content creating for a long time. This is not my first platform. It's not my second one. I've built platforms and just abandoned them. And I'm talking about successful platforms too. And then I built some platforms that weren't so successful. Hell, I'm in the process of building a few now. I don't imagine all of them will make it, but that's what we do. We try and fail. I'm mentioning that because one thing I've learned as a content creator is they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. It's very cliche, but that's what happens. People gravitate towards you because you say a few things that they agree with, and then instead of accepting the fact that you're your own individual, they begin to expect you to only be their robotic mouthpieces. And welcome to Innocent Until, guys. I've said this a million times on my other platforms. And I've said it a few times here, man. We think for ourselves here. I'm myself, the content creator, the one who designed this by God's, grace. I don't even purport to be someone who's dictating or running anything. I yield to the audience, not in the sense that I'm not going to have my own thoughts and opinions, but in the sense that I realize that my thoughts and opinions aren't a monopoly for how everyone else must think and feel. And many of us don't. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to reiterate to you guys that I'm not here to be your mouthpiece. I'm here to be a portion of the conversation from my vantage point. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. And we're going to do that as we talk about Carly again, man. Mrs. Carly Russell. I personally want to reiterate, I'm praying for this young lady. I'm going to say a couple of things here, man, that may and may not be well received, but I'm praying for her. I want to get that out of the way first. I'm praying for her. I'm praying for her well-being. I'm praying for her mental health. I'm praying for her emotional and psychological health, right? For all of us, I pray that. This week, I took 2 days off, man. I was moderately online, but I didn't work at all. I didn't do anything because I had like, I don't want to worry anybody. You can't say once again, you can't say anything. People go into panic mode. I didn't have a mental health crisis or anything, but I needed to take a mental health and a psychological health break. So I did for like the first 2 days of this week. So I understand, man, that with all of us, man, we look at mental health and psychological and emotional health like they're these cliche taboo things over here to the side, but they're really not. You know what I mean? We understand that we must take care of our physical body. We do that through working out. We do that through dietary habits. We do that, through many different facets. But then once you begin to speak on emotional and mental and psychological, it's like, oh, you stepped into something taboo. It's another part of human existence, just like the spiritual aspect of it, that needs to be maintained well. It's really as simple as that. We complicate it by making it something taboo. I don't know if Cardi was going through any mental health crisis, man. I really don't. When this article first came out, I want to reiterate, if you didn't watch 12 Years of Horror, please go watch that video. It's not the Idaho 4, so it's not as popular. I'm thinking that YouTube isn't pushing those things to you guys, because when I drop an Idaho 4 video, it just goes up. When I drop any other content, not so much. So if you're not seeing it, hey man, you can go ahead and check the content, the video tab. If you just don't want to watch it, then shame on you. I'm kind of shaming you, trying to shame you into watching the other videos. But I said in my first Carly video, I said, I went to her Twitter page after hearing minute details of the story. And what I seen was someone, and I still believe it because those tweets are still there. She still tweeted them. I seen someone who was going through, some issues. Now, I'm not a doctor, so whether it was emotional, psychological, I don't know. But it seemed to me to be somebody who was having some issues that, superseded just someone trying to be devious. Now, I said that over and over and over again. I think this girl may be having some mental, psychological, emotional health issues. I personally said that. I'm putting myself on Front Street. But now that I'm hearing details about this case, Carly, it's going to be hard for me to come to your rescue, man, with that explanation. Because I'm here. Now, I'm not ruling it out. I'm not throwing that explanation away. I'm not jumping in the boat with some of you guys who are just slandering her and saying, hey. I'm about to get on her ass now. I'm not about to let her off the hook either, but I'm trying to go down the middle. I'm trying to be balanced here. But when I hear the details about you planning some of your Google searches is that you didn't have enough sense, which once again speaks to your mental health, to not do on your own devices. You're taking things from your job. Your plan just wasn't well thought out. Which some would say, hey man, that just proves she had illicit motives. I would argue that maybe that speaks to the fact that she wasn't all the way mentally there because she didn't think this through well at all. She didn't think this through well at all. She left, damn it, if we go into the gingerbread house, sweetheart, you left all the crumbs for us to get exactly where we're going. And in this case, the gingerbread house would be the fact that you made all of this up. And we still want to know why, right? We still want to know why. And that's what I want to talk a little bit about, that a lot of people aren't going to want to hear. Now, we want to throw the blame on Carly right before I came on here. Shout out, Misty. I seen her retweeting or talking to somebody on Twitter. It's another young lady, I think in the UK or something. She done beat her whole ass. Now, listen, let me say that again so you don't miss it. She beat her ass. I'm not looking into the story, but they caught this woman. I think they sentenced her to a few years in prison or whatnot. But she beat her own ass to accuse someone else of doing it. And that's what I want to talk about. This is when I'm going to cool my passions because I don't like hypocrisy, guys. I don't like hypocrisy. We can't just look at the world and say everything is wrong with it and remove our own selves from accountability. That is total horse feces, hog feces. A lot of the things going on in the world, guys, especially in our personal circles and stuff, we contribute to, but we're so self-righteous, and I'm emphasizing we don't look at ourselves and say, man, silence is consent, right? So you should look at yourself and say, hey man, even on a minimal scale, am I contributing to this at all? Let's go back to the why with Carly, man. If you follow me on Twitter, and sometimes I say it on YouTube in the community tab, I say, act like you have a son. Another ad I was giving Carly, I was saying, well, hell, she wasn't Sherry Papini where she just went out, or some of these other women who just went out and falsely accused a random man of kidnapping her or doing something to her. Because that just puts a lot of people in danger, specifically men. She wasn't that. And then we turn around and find out, Carly, if the police are telling the truth, your ass did tell them that a man kidnapped you. You did tell them that a man drug you over the fence. Now, you did say a woman was with him and you heard her voice, you never seen her. But how and why, right? Not how, why, right? Why? You guys are going to say the answer to this question that I'm about to ask clearly is because men commit more violent crimes. I submit to you that is and has always been BS. That is and has always been BS. I'm not getting into details. I'm not putting any backdrops in there. If you really care about people as much as you say you do, go and research some of the crimes that women commit that are as horrendous as the crimes men commit, but they never go on the books. Have I said this in the video already? They never go on the books as these horrible crimes. So a woman can kill her 5 kids and drown them, and instead of being a serial killer, labeled that, or a murderer, she literally gets sent to a mental health hospital. If a man kills 5 kids, I mean, come on, man, your ass ain't going to a mental health hospital. More than likely, you're going to the death chamber. If you definitely going to prison for the rest of your life, you're not going to no damn mental health hospital, and you definitely getting labeled a serial killer. That's just the bottom line.
Maybe not automatically labeled a serial killer, but you get the point.
So when y'all try to talk about statistics, you can't give me that. I look at real life. I see instance after instance of these women sexually abusing and raping our young boys in school, and they literally just get slaps on the wrist. They don't even get charged. They get fired, they get disciplined, and they get sent to somewhere home, and they just wind up at another. I've said all of this. I'm not finna rehash all of that. So you can't bring me. Maybe you can do that in your circles. I'm not better than you. I just don't think like your circles. You can't bring me and say, okay, well, why are people comfortable believing that men are the most dangerous sector of people among us, the most dangerous demographic among us? Why? When if you look at the news and you look at reality in everyday life, a lady in Miami just got arrested. I seen the damn story and I didn't even know it was in Miami where I'm at right now. She just got arrested for trying to hire a hitman to kill a 3-year-old child. This is a mother. This ain't no damn man. Let me calm down because a lot of your ears are offended right now. You want me to stop talking. But why? What have I lied about? You Google the story and tell me if this lady didn't just get arrested for trying to hire a hitman to kill her own damn son.
A baby son.
Come on, man. So why? That's the question we all want to know with Carly, right? Why would Carly want to lie and say someone kidnapped her? Let's first start with her alibi. A man kidnapped her. Because she had the damn option. She knew that she could tell this story because she knew that if she just says as a woman, a man did something to her, that seals the believability of it. We're living now on the outer edges of the generation and the age of believe women and Me Too. But how many of us contributed to that? How many of us are walking around saying, hey man, believe women, believe victims. If a woman says something is done to her, especially if she says a man did it to her, we have to believe her. That is total BS. What it does is foster an environment where just because you were born male, you are guilty, and just because you were born female, that means you're right no matter what comes out of your mouth. Now, I said this in my last video that you guys are not going to get. I said I'm not recording this 3 and 4 times. I've already recorded one. I'm not giving you that because it was a little too harsh. I know how this world works. People say be yourself. As soon as you start saying stuff they don't want to hear, whether it's truth or not, whether they need to hear it or not, they don't want to hear anymore. I don't live in that damn world. I'm going to listen to you talk. I would chew the meat and spit out the bones. I don't have to ignore you unless you're talking total foolishness. Then I don't want to hear that. But if you're talking anything that could be close to sensible, I know how to chew the meat and spit out the bones. I'm not senile yet. I'm from the South, baby. My man said, yo, one thing I love about this channel is it gives me that down home feel. You reason like you from the South. Baby, I'm fresh out of Georgia, man. I live in Miami now. I'm fresh out of Georgia, baby. Shout out to Bulldogs. That's all the information I'm going to give you. I am black. I say this in a lot of my videos. I'm not these people that, hey, man, you can't mention race or whatever. I don't give a damn what your race is. All y'all Negroes, to me, race adds context. It doesn't take away from value. Let me say that again. Race adds context. It doesn't automatically take away from value or worthiness or worth the way some people think. I don't think like that, so I can mention race to bring home the proper context. I'm not only black, I'm from the South. Let me tell you what that means. I was raised in the Me Too generation. Me and my cousins and siblings, we were brought up in the Me Too generation. What I'm saying is you cannot question black mothers for anything. That's a story right now. Rest in peace to them. I believe this woman had mental health problems. A black woman told her children, we're going to this damn pond. She walked around the neighborhood asking for help. This woman clearly had mental health problems, and I think we as humans failed her. But she told her children, I think a daughter and 2 sons, we're going to this damn creek or pond or whatever it was that we're going to lay down. They did. They did. The girl got up and went and told somebody, and that's how they got help. The 2 boys died. I did a story about it. They laid down because the woman that was supposed to protect them above anything in the black community, the woman that we're told you never question, she's never wrong no matter what she does, they told her to lay down and die. She told them to lay down and die, and the young boys literally laid there until they drowned to death. We came up in the Me Too generation. I'm telling you. You can't question women for nothing, especially if it's a mother. If she says it, she's right. If she claims it happened, it happened. How many of us feed into and enable this world when we know, listen, women aren't less than anybody, but they damn sure aren't more. We all know women lie. We all know women fabricate things. We all know women weaponize their gender, their girl tears to manipulate situations. So why in the hell do we pretend and continue to pretend that just because a woman says something, we have to believe it? So when I hear all of these, why why Carly questions. Hell, I also asked, why in the hell did she feel comfortable telling them damn lies, which leads back to how many of us have enabled the Carlys of the world to feel comfortable telling those damn lies and attaching men to validate their damn stories. Act like you have a son. Do you want your son? Do you want your husband? Do you want your nephews looked at like they might be criminal, or they're the most dangerous people, or the most evil, or the most violent people walking around God's earth simply because they were born male? Do you want someone to believe something, an accusation, a horrible and horrendous accusation against them simply because the person that's making the accusation is a woman? Is that what you want for the men that you love, the little boys that you love? Then why in the hell are most of us so comfortable treating outside males like that? We don't mind believing any damn thing against a man or a young boy as long as it's not a man or a young boy that we love. It's crazy as hell. Let me slow down and talk about this Carly case a little bit more. Sweetheart, people are asking where the baby at. We know where the baby is at by now. A lot of us gave you the benefit of the doubt. I'm not about to pile on Carly here, man, because we had Carlys before Carlys existed. We had Sherry Papino, we had Chloe, we had Catherine, we had the story I told you that Misty put up. Listen, man, this is not the first time women have lied about something and been caught in a lie. It's not the first time, and by far women are the ones who do this, and by far men are the ones most victimized by it. That's why I'm asking with this Carly situation. It's bigger than Carly. What are you doing to contribute to making the type of world where the Carlys feel safe and feel secure and feel comfortable creating these type of situations? I don't know what the hell was going on in her mind, but no baby existed. No man dragged her over the fence. Any more than a Hispanic couple kidnapped Catherine's kids. Why are they making these things up, and why are they feeling comfortable doing it? You guys are asking about the GoFundMe. I read, hey man, Carly's family said they had nothing to do with the GoFundMe. They didn't ask for it. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't contribute to the GoFundMe. I didn't even look it up. The only reason I know it exists because you guys are asking where the money is at. What should happen with the money? You tell me. I don't know. I didn't give any money. Obviously, it seems to me it should be returned back to the people who donated it. But maybe, I don't want to sound too harsh here, because when these situations happen, we do want to take them seriously. I'm not saying that we should auto say women are lying. I'm just saying we need to stop auto believing them and saying they're telling the damn truth. We need to be able to look at the situation and say 1 + 1 = 2. And maybe, hell, they need to keep it. Whoever got the money might need to keep it to teach the people who just automatically believe Carly was telling the truth. And maybe we need it, because let's say what's clear here. This was fishy from the beginning, man. This was fishy from the beginning, and most of us are comfortable with me talking about it like this because it's a black woman. I hope you would have the same damn ears if I'm talking about a white woman and this happened. Because like I say, Carly is not the first Carly. And that's the problem that we need to deal with, guys. We need to deal with the fact that there's a certain demographic of people who do not mind making up lies and false stories and falsely accusing another demographic of people. And as a group of humans, we do not mind believing lies about another demographic of people. We do not mind believing evil untruths about a certain demographic of people. What has happened to our damn minds? Like I say, I already preempted this. A lot of us are going to go back to these statistics that tell us men are more dangerous, men are more evil. But is that your experience as a human being? Is that your experience as a human being? Forget the statistics that we all know, whether you want to admit it or not, can be doctored. Is that your experience as a human being? If men are more dangerous, if you're in a dangerous situation right now, who are you more prompt to call? Do you want to call a woman or do you want to call a man? Is it equal? For some of you, it may be equal. But if you even think to call a damn man, then why in your mind do you also think these men are the ones that you have to look out for as far as your well-being and safety are concerned? When you're in a dangerous situation, these are the people that you want to call first. There's so much I want to say here. I kind of want to mix that last video I did in, because I told you I want to say things that are bigger than just Carly. I want to say the things that the Carlys of the world, the implications that they have on men, on your sons, on your husbands, on your brothers, on your fathers, on your nephews. She said a man drug her over the fence and threw her into the back of an 18-wheeler. Do you know how many innocent men were just driving 18-wheelers through that area trying to make money to feed their damn families, and automatically now they become suspects of a kidnapping, maybe more? Because this woman wanted to tell a lie for whatever reason she wanted to tell a lie for? Is that what you want for the men and young boys in your life? And if not, I submit to you that maybe you should be less inclined to just believe it when women make up stories and make up accusations. We're having the same discussion in the Brian Koberger case where you have a man accused, and damn it, most of us who with sensible minds and eyes realize there is more evidence for two young ladies that were left alive to say that they're involved in the crime, if not absolutely guilty, than this man that they have sitting in jail right now. But part of the reason that he's in jail and they're not is because of their gender. I'm going to ask you again, is that the world you want for the men and the young boys in your life? It's easy to pile on Carly right now and say, Carly, you done lost your damn mind. Why did you do this? You need to be arrested and whatnot. But what needs to happen to you if you are one of the people that contribute to this, because you believe you just need to come to the rescue of any accusing female without vetting her story, without vetting her accusations outside of the lens of her gender? She's not right. Her accusations aren't true just because she's making them and she's a female. Her accusations aren't true and she's not right just because she's accusing a man. He's not guilty. Some random strange man that we haven't found yet is not guilty. Going back to the damn Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie case, you guys to this day, you don't have any verified evidence that Brian abused this lady. Now rest in peace. I know he murdered her. He admitted that himself. I'm not making any excuses for that. We're not even going down that road. I don't give it. If you try to put that on me, that's on you. I would say a bad word to you. It's not even worth it. I'm talking about pre that. We don't have any verified evidence, verified facts. You know how we looking for facts in the Idaho 4 case against Brian K? We don't have any facts that Brian Laundrie abused this lady. But once we saw her abuse him and she went missing, we automatically ventured to her side and we literally created stories about him abusing her. We created stories where they didn't exist. And you know what we say when women fight back and murder men that are abusing them? She finally had enough. I always ask the question, how in the hell do you guys not know that Brian Laundrie had enough? I'm trying to turn your mind around because most of us had these pseudo-compassionate thoughts about who we are, but then those thoughts are tainted by our biases. And in the world we live in right now, most of those biases come from whether this is a man or a woman making an accusation of being accused. I don't know what the hell happened with Carly, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm here. I don't know. I don't even want to repeat some of the rumors that I'm hearing because they haven't been verified. I love the graciousness of the law enforcement officers on this case. Think about this, man. They have highway surveillance of her riding down the road with her hazard lights on, right? Pulling up to the child or whatever, you know, the mystery to it. They got the footage. But they ain't got no footage of nothing after that. Listen, this ain't somebody standing on the side of the road with their cell phone recording. This is a highway camera. Are we to believe that the camera just stopped at what the footage they've released to us? Or are we to just think through it and say, they probably got the rest of the damn footage too? I would believe that they have more footage. What that footage reveals, how am I to know? I'm not going to pretend I do. But it's hard for me to believe that that footage just stops. It's a highway camera. They're constantly recording. It's hard for me to believe that that footage just stopped or had some kind of defect or outage or something at what they released to us. I think they have more, and it reveals more about what happened here. And they're being very gracious to Carly and her family by saying, hey, man, we're going to give you a chance to come out and tell this truth. We're going to give you a chance to come out and redeem your name a little bit here. Because I really feel like they could have blasted her. Let me switch gears a little bit and talk about manhood here in this situation. Because like I say, with this Carly case, it's easy to just pile on Carly. I want to talk about the implications that the Carlys and their trumped up stories have on our entire world. I watched that interview with Carly's mom and Carly's dad. Remember I said I'm a black man from the South? We grew up, you know what I mean? The black woman is our holy grail. It should not be so. That mindset is destroying so much of our community. And it's just permanent. I don't know, I'm black, so I never grew up white. I never grew up Asian. I never grew up Polynesian. I never grew up in all these other, you know what I mean? Not only am I black, I'm Southern black. So that's different from being West Coast black. That's different from, but I can tell you this, just hearing my brothers and sisters talk around the world, most of us grow up with that black woman, especially mom, is the holy grail mindset. And now, I don't know if you guys being non-black experienced that in your childhood or not, but now I can see that in the Me Too Believe Women generation, it's just permeated our entire world. So now every woman is the holy grail. It shouldn't be so. Nobody's better than nobody. I watched a video, man, of Carly's dad and mom talking. And I just lied and fabricated because Carly's dad never said a verbal word, but he told her so much. While mom was sitting there telling us we have to believe her daughter because she does. And I'm not going to say she believes her daughter because she's a mom. You're a parent. You want to believe your child is not lying. And then your emotions are a little tainted and biased there because it's your child. Hell, I'm not going to say man or woman, I wouldn't be sitting in that situation doing the same thing. But I'm going to tell you something, man. If you haven't watched that interview with Carly's mom and dad, where mom did 100% of the talking, go back and watch it. Besides comforting her by rubbing her back while she was talking, and you can see that Southern black mom on her, I dare you to question one damn word about what I'm saying. Even in the interview, you can see the interviewers inviting, posture and questioning. She was saying, hey, no matter what you say, we're going to believe it. There was only one person in there sitting there objectively, and it was the father. You go look at it. Don't take my word for it. He sat there the entire damn time, in his body language, his demeanor, the look in his eyes. He sat there, and everything about him, to me as a man and as someone who reads people. Reading people and being a man don't mean I'm right. Don't mean I know everything. It definitely doesn't mean I'm God. It just means what it is, what I just said. He sat there looking like, man, I know this isn't true. I know my family has gotten me into something that I don't know how I'm going to get us out of. And I submit to you, man, please lead your household, man. I didn't say dictate. I said lead. Why were you sitting there letting your wife tell a story that you knew could potentially not be true? Why did you do that, sir? Why didn't you stop your wife and say, we're not going on the news, and if we do, this is what we're going to say. We're going to be very careful about what we're going to say, because at this time, as a man, that's my daughter, and I love her as much as you do. But baby, I don't believe this is true, or I don't know this is true. I'm not 100% convinced this is true, sir. Your body language and everything about you said that this isn't true, sir. And time after time again, in these tragic cases where we see families get on the news and they talk, time after time again, I see the men stand there silent, like they have no feelings, they have no opinions. Steve G is the only man that I can remember in recent history that has stood up for his family and said, I have thoughts and opinions about this too. Every other damn time something happens like this, the men sit there stoically like robots and let the women speak, sir. I think it's time for you to stand up and be a man. I think maybe you need to lead this damn situation that's going on with your daughter. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to handle it, sir. But I think, judging by your demeanor and that news interview that your family did, you and your wife did, I think you think at least a little like some of us, sir. And at this time, we ain't thinking of the little, sir. The question ain't whether your daughter is lying or not right now. The question is why. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. I've said enough, but I ain't said a lot. I said a lot, but I ain't said enough. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. The video is 25 minutes, guys. This is what I want to submit to you, man. I was joking on Twitter, and I said, Carly set us back 1,000 years as black people. Right now, there's a I don't know what he is, classify him as, but he's a military guy. He ran into North Korea, a black guy. I don't know what he's doing either. He had gotten into some trouble. They let him out of jail or wherever he was at, locked up in South Korea. And then he's supposed to be coming back home, but instead of going home, he got on the tour bus somewhere by North Korea. He ended up running across the border, the fortified border. So now he's in North Korea, the United States, they're trying to bargain to get him back or whatnot. So that's two black people, in just this week alone, man. What the hell y'all got going on? Y'all got us looking crazy as hell out here, man. I submit, and I said this in my joke on Twitter, we own that, right? And for black people, I'm joking, right? Because I don't have the right to speak for all black people. But as a black man, I own these L's for black people, guys. I just want us to have the same energy no matter who it is. If you're Hispanic and your people do some crazy stuff, don't make no excuses for it, man. Call it what it is. If you white and your people do some crazy stuff, don't make no damn excuses for it. Call it what it is. Whatever you are, man, you Asian, whatever. Like I said earlier, you Polynesian, you whatever, bro. There's too many of us out here. All y'all Negroes to me. When your people do some crazy stuff, man, don't make excuses for it. Call it what it is, because I'm looking at this situation and I'm seeing a lot of voices, and I'm wondering if Carly had this kind of hair and these kind of eyes, or Carly was from here, would you be speaking as honestly about it? Would you be speaking such accountability necessitation to the situation? Or would you be somewhere being silent, which is consent, or defending her and saying, oh, we need to understand? I don't think we need to understand Carly's situation to the point where we let her off the hook. I think we need to understand Carly's situation to the point where she's human. I think Carly needs to be held accountable for her actions. And when I say Carly, I'm not talking about that young black girl from Alabama who made up that damn, very obviously at this point, seemingly lie about what happened to her. I'm talking about women who feel comfortable just making up lies and including men in their lies with false accusations to validate the lies. I think we need to start holding them accountable for their damn actions instead of saying, oh, we don't know what the hell she went through. We don't know what the hell she could have put these men through and their families, and the women standing behind them, and the children standing behind them. And if that doesn't resonate with you, then just insert the men and the family members that you love into that scenario, and tell yourself, this ain't, you know it to be true. That's why I can say, tell yourself, this ain't what I would want a Carly to do to my damn family. So I'm not just going to believe Carly or enable Carly or support Carly simply because she's a female. Carlys are out here causing a lot of damn problems for a lot of our families, and we're enabling them. So when you ask that question, why Carly, make sure you include yourself and your enablement in that question. Not only Carly, why did you do that? The Carlys of the world, why y'all out here creating these false ass, fictitious ass stories? Why are we enabling them? Why are we making them feel comfortable doing it? Innocent until y'all enjoy your day, man. I'm out of here.
Positive outcome is she's alive, and that is definitely the most and best outcome that could have happened. The decisions that were made, I think, are pretty rotten, and those decisions are also against the law.
You think you have a lot to fear because of your gender? What about the fear of being guilty of something just because someone makes accusations? And the only proof they need is their ability to accuse. How scary you think that is?